Okay.
Very special detail on set could have helped the Squid Game players survive. From giant dolls to mind-bending stairs inspired by a piece of art.
Guys, I want to watch this chat. Guys, I want to watch some of this video. Okay, guys, it's a little bit spoily. Okay, but don't, guys, it looks pretty good though. Guys, it looks pretty good, man. Guys, I want to watch the video.
Game went all out with their sets. While CGI is used to create or complete certain images, many of the sets and backdrops seen in Squid Game were fabricated just for the show. This is extra impressive because some of the real sets look like they could be created by computers with just how mesmerizing and exciting they look, especially when the backdrops appear to be outdoor locations. Tug of War might seem like a simple enough game to film, but the team behind the Netflix hit opted to build a large space and the raised platforms used in the game from scratch. The space created managed to be the perfect base for the actors to perform on, and to add CGI effects afterwards to make the space seem as daunting as it feels for the actors. Every inch had to be precisely built to ensure the safety of the performers while doing such physical work.
되게 황홀했어요. 그 공간 안에 들어간 순간.
The dorms the players stay in during Squid Game may be the dullest colored set, but it's certainly not the least impressive. The gray walls and metal bunk beds aren't so inviting or comforting, but they definitely set the scene and make an impact. The size of the space was so vast that for the performers, it could feel like they were in a coliseum.
That's insane,
the dorm
though.
space is where so much happens. A major fight, learning the truth of the game, watching the money add up, and the prison-like aesthetic provided the ideal backdrop for these pivotal moments.
If you do not wish to participate, then please let us know at this time.
Not a single detail was overlooked when the art department and creative team worked to bring all the spaces we see in Squid Game to the screen. One very small but meaningful detail, one that even could have helped the players out a bit, was hiding in plain sight on the walls.
사실 기대와 상상을 한 것 이상으로 충격적인 비주얼들이 펼쳐지더라고요.
We don't see them in the first part of the series, but as players lose and there isn't a need for so many beds, we slowly see the images revealed. All the illustrations on the walls depict each of the games played throughout the series. The fact that the bunk beds were in tall stacks was no coincidence either. The art director thought them up to convey themes of abandonment and carrying emotional baggage. They were actually made out of the same material as tunnels. The colorful and unsettling sets of staircases we see in Squid Game were actually inspired by a famous piece of art called Relativity. The original image came from the mind of a Dutch artist named MC Escher. The Squid Game creative team felt the mind-bending picture would be the perfect addition to the series, and they weren't wrong. The original photo includes 7 stairways arranged in a world where gravity is different, and considering Squid Game really turns every player's life upside down, whether they want it to or not, the
this is something that you should be strict about, okay? You don't watch these shows in dub. You just don't. You watch it in sub, okay? Anyway, your brain isn't brain dead, believe it or not, okay? You can read whilst enjoying the show. It helps.
Homage paid to
and even all the shows that I watch, I always watch with subs anyway, because I know for a fact that it'll help me understand even better.
This classic piece of art makes a lot of sense and just adds to the genius of the show.
Whoa, this place is gigantic.
A part of what makes these sets so incredible is the sheer scale of them. The space of the children's playground for the Honeycomb game featured real, enormous versions of playground equipment, with a fake drawn sky background making the whole scene look like an image we'd see in a children's book. It did an incredible job at bringing us a freaky playground vibe. The large-scale equipment also helped with making the players feel like children.
I got it. You got
it? Sir, are you okay? I just pissed myself. Sir, are you okay? I just pissed myself.
Chef to burn his food. Just don't.
Replicating what the environment would have looked like to them when they were young. The team definitely accomplished the formidable but also familiar and reminiscent of childhood look that director Hwang was hoping to achieve.
So our options are circle, triangle, star, umbrella.
We can't discuss the
what is
incredible
that?
sets without mentioning one very impactful prop. If that's what we call a creepy giant doll that had the power to take any player out that it saw moving. The red light, green light doll is a
Damn,
major
dude, I'd buy
part of the
that.
scene for the initial game and shockingly wasn't created just for the show.
The doll?
Yes.
The prop?
This terrifying giant Mugunghwa doll actually existed before and was displayed for the public to see
what?
at a museum.
It'd be cool. Imagine you had this next to your staircase or whatever. Like as soon as you get into the house, it's just right there. It's kind of cool though, isn't it?
Adventure Village in South
And sometimes it's looking backwards, then looking
Korea.
forward.
The doll is back in its original home since the production wrapped, so people can see this amazing piece of the Squid Game story in person. It seems like the games were tough for the doll as well, since it now is inexplicably missing one of its hands.
Oh, damn.
Some cast members were actually speechless when they were on set for the first time, thrilled by the fact that they'd get to interact and perform in these incredible spaces. The actor who plays number 1 had a really intense nostalgic reaction when he was on set where the marbles game takes place.
부딪히기도 저도 했어요. 어렸을 때 해서 그 생각도 나고.
All the houses and streets we see were built from the ground up.
That's crazy.
No small feat, but so worth the final, incredible product. The set had the power to transport the cast members themselves to other places, so it's no surprise they've completely captured us. For director of the series Hwang, it was important to build an authentic world so the team could more easily tell the story truthfully, meaning not a lot of CGI ended up being used. Not a corner was cut, and the Squid Game team decided to really build everything we see. Oftentimes, extremely large versions, which only added to the impressive production. One of the coolest examples of a
she's my favorite,
non-CGI
that
shot
one.
is the very first game, Red Light, Green Light, where there were actually over 400 performers on the set playing the game.
067?
Oftentimes, in scenes like these, loads of people end up being added in with CGI, but since the set itself was so enormous, they were able to accommodate a massive cast and crew.
Over there. Looks really freaky.
For
Oh,
the
this is
performers,
terrible.
seeing the sets for the first time blew them
The
away,
dub
and they
is
needed to
dog
capture the
shit.
magic.
What is that?
세트장을 들어가면은 사진 찍기 바빠요.
The cast had, of course, had time with the script for a while before they arrived to film, and when reading, naturally thought up of what the
This
sets were
dumb
going
fuck
to look
betrayed his
like.
jersey, dude.
For the most
What a
part, it
moron.
was not at all what they'd expected, and some actors were even caught off guard, shocked that these incredible spaces existed and that they were the lucky actors who got to perform on them.
Wait, spoiler!
For other actors, the set felt a bit like a fantasy or dream world. The colors and childlike structures are surprising and catch audiences off guard in a fantastic way as well. The sheer scale of it all was overwhelming, but the performers managed to fill
Chat. Before the game started, what do you guys think this was gonna be? I thought this was gonna be the floor is lava type of game, right? Where somebody, if you pick a color, you have to go to your color. And you can only be holding something, not touch the ground, based on the color you chose. You thought it was gonna be a tag. Interesting. That was my thinking. And my thinking was that if you chose the umbrella, you're almost instantly lost because there's no umbrella, right? Because there's no
30 months,
blue,
pretty pig
right?
man.
No, anywhere. There's no blue. So you would lose the game if you chose blue, just because you would just get eliminated almost, right? Because there's no blue, there's only green, red, and yellow. And I thought the girl that got left behind was gonna be like the Bowser or like the person touching them. You know, if it's tag, I thought it was gonna be her because she's the only one we didn't have
overwhelming, but the performers managed to fill the space right up with their incredible acting. With so many interesting locations, it's a bit surprising that the whole production is filmed in just one city. About an hour outside of Seoul, South Korea is Daejeon. This city has been the home base for many South Korean productions and is now home to Squid Game, where so much magic was created. Since there wasn't any big traveling being done, the budget for the set could be a bit higher and the team took advantage of it. These creations were far from cheap.
think that's what she said.
The sets of Squid Game are a major contributor to why the show has become such a hit. They really play characters of their own and add massive amounts of info and energy to the story. They somehow manage to make childlike images terrifying and present unsettling scenes we couldn't even have thought up in our worst nightmares. Which set were you most excited by?
This one.
Sir, are you okay? I just pissed myself.